Hello everyone, my name is Richa and welcome to the SwiftUI interview questions and answers. This is the part 1 of this series of interview questions for iOS developers, and if I was at your place, I would follow to this channel to get more updates on the next parts for iOS developer interview questions. In this part, we'll discuss the basic questions which a junior iOS developer can get in their interview. So without any further ado, let's get started. So the first question which you can get asked is, how is SwiftUI different from UIKit? This is a super common interview question, especially if the company is transitioning from UIKit to SwiftUI. The biggest difference is UIKit is imperative while SwiftUI is declarative. What it means is with UIKit, you write step-by-step instructions to build and modify your views. Whereas with SwiftUI, you describe what the UI should look like and the framework handles the rest. Here is a simple example. So if you want to create a button with UIKit, you will have to create a let variable and then initialize the UI button with the type of the button which you want. And then you will set the title for it, you will have to set the action for it and then handle the action as well. Whereas with SwiftUI, as you can see, it's written in such a simple language that even a non-developer can understand. So button name is click me, and then in curly braces, it says button tab. So whatever action you want for your button, you can write inside those curly braces. So SwiftUI code is more cleaner and more reactive. The next question is, what is a view in SwiftUI? So in SwiftUI, everything is a view. A view in SwiftUI is a struct that conforms to view protocol. So everything which you see on your UI screen is nothing but a view. So from a custom view which you will create or any predefined view like text, image, button, all of these conforms to view protocol. And view protocol returns a UI hierarchy through its body property. So as you can see in this example, we have created a custom view called welcome text, which is conforming to our view protocol. And inside this, we have a body where we have written text, hello SwiftUI. Now following to the last question, you can get a follow-up question as, what is the use of body in SwiftUI? So body is nothing but again a view which describes the layout and content for your view. So whatever you will see in your view or in your UI screen will be written in the body of your view. So as in this example, inside the body we have a V-stack. V-stack is nothing but vertical stack through which you can lay out your view in vertical order. And then we have text which says welcome, and then we have a button which says tap me. So this is what you will see on your screen, welcome tap me button. So whatever you will define in your body will be rendered in the UI of your screen. The next question which can be asked is, how to use modifiers in SwiftUI? So modifiers are the way to customize your view in SwiftUI. So if you want to style your views, you can use modifiers. So let's say we have a text. Now I want to add some styling to my text. How can I do that? We can do it using the modifier. So I have font modifier, which will define the font of my text, which makes our text color blue. Then we have some padding around it, then background color. So I have a yellow background color for my text. And then there is corner radius of 10. And as I told you in the previous answer, everything in SwiftUI is a view. Even our modifiers returns a new view. And the most important thing about modifiers are that they are applied top to bottom. So order is very important when it comes to modifiers. The next question is, what are @state and @binding in SwiftUI? When you are working with data, it is very important to understand what is @state and @binding in SwiftUI. @state, as the name suggests, is for state of our data in SwiftUI. So any data which you want to be dynamic for your SwiftUI view, you will have to wrap it with @state property wrapper so that any changes in that variable will re-render your view as well. So let's see a simple example. So in our example, we have counter view, and in this view, we are incrementing the count by 1. So we have a text count and we have a button which says increment, and on click of this button, I want to increment the value of this count variable. So to do so, I need to make sure that this count variable is wrapped into this @state property wrapper. Now every time count is updated, my view will be re-rendered and I will see the updated count. Now what is @binding? Binding is used for passing the state from one view to another view. So basically from parent to child. So let's say if you want to pass state data from parent to child, then you'll have to use binding. So let's say in our example for counter view itself, if I want to pass this count variable to a child view, how can I do that? To do that, in my child view, I should have a variable maybe with the same name, and then I'll need to wrap this variable with @binding, and while calling this child view in my parent view, I can pass my @state variable to this child view, and then every time data is updated, if it is updated in the parent view, it will get updated in child view, or if it is updated in the child view, it will get updated in parent view. So it will keep both the views reactive if we use @binding while passing our data. So this was it for this part of the SwiftUI interviews. This was the part 1. The next will be part 2, where we'll be talking about state management and the questions which are being asked in the iOS interviews related to state management and how it can be handled for our SwiftUI applications. Also, a very common thing which I've been seeing in iOS interviews is they don't just ask you a question, they want you to write code as well. So I want you to get hands-on and know how to make an API call, get data from that API, and show it in a list or table format, which is a very common interview question. And also use a very good architecture while doing that. A very common architecture which is widely used everywhere is MVVM. So if you want to create SwiftUI 6 applications and understand how concurrency and MVVM works with SwiftUI, then this course would be best for you. I have given a coupon code as well so that you can get the best of this course from the best price possible as well. So I hope you will enroll for this course as well, and I'll see you in the next part of SwiftUI interview questions. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day. Bye-bye.